Hello there, my name's Card, and here on my YouTube page I like to make simple little videos talking about all sorts of things which interest me. Today I just wanted to articulate a few things I've been reflecting on recently, all of which you could say ultimately concern the topic of online drama. Firstly, there's so many people online, on YouTube in particular, who reflexively posture that drama is bad. It's become a banal truism to a lot of people. But I don't think it is. The way I see it, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, YouTube went through a phase where longer, high-quality video essay type content really bloomed, and a lot of people made careers for themselves off that. Then, that peaked and started to slow down as the well ran dry and the market became oversaturated. And we got a couple years where vlogging and other personality-driven content was winning, and a bunch of people made their names and got their bags doing that. Then that slowed down. Now, for the last few years, it seems like the thing that's been disproportionately successful is online drama covering content. The concept wasn't invented that recently, of course, but it seems like it really is flourishing right now, and there's so many people out there currently doing well commentating on, or causing, interpersonal online feuds. And with that genre's success comes people who push back against the very concept, and to decry it as slop or as juvenile. But have you considered that maybe it's both fun and perfectly normal? I'm not even super interested into getting into some quasi-political discussion right now about how, say, making videos on the internet as a job is valid labor or whatever. I would defend it on the grounds that people enjoy doing it, and there's nothing bad about that sort of entertainment product. If online drama is juvenile in your eyes, then I would say, okay, being juvenile is evidently fine then. And funnily enough, the real reason I had to think about the subject and came to this conclusion is that recently I've been rereading a lot of the Enlightenment Era continental satirists, Voltaire, Montesquieu, Rousseau, those guys. And what I find really interesting is half the stuff those guys ever wrote about was mostly responding to interpersonal debates that often started at dinner parties and the like. Having a dinner or a coffee clatch sit-down where you invite all your writer friends used to be the #1 medium in which intellectual debates happened back then. And you only have to read through a couple memoirs from the period to realise that half the time it would turn into mud-flinging and petty dramatics. And what that reminded me the most of is basically the people online who style themselves as political or cultural commentators who keep getting dragged into personal beef nowadays. That was my big reflection on all this. The modern day equivalent of the grand Western intellectual enlightenment tradition or whatever is honestly online drama hogs. And that's not to say YouTubers are these titans of philosophy and letters or anything. Quite the opposite. These 18th century guys were messy bitches who loved drama too. We just put them on pedestals because they're old. Everyone commentating on politics and culture and drama online is in the spirit of the Enlightenment Era coffee clatch. It's just that we've got the internet now, and that means we can communicate with potentially thousands and thousands of people all over the world. But it's the same basic thing. If Voltaire was alive today, he wouldn't be starting verbal altercations with the other fancy lad French poets at Frederick the Great's weekly catered lunch. He'd be a commentary YouTube guy starting beef with smaller channels. Make of that observation what you will. The other major reflection I had went like this. For context, if you went to my YouTube channel page and scrolled all the way back to my oldest uploads, you would see some stuff that's about 2 years old now. There's some poetry, and there's some video-less, audio-only readings of essentially just essays I wrote long before I got on YouTube. But the actual videos like this one, where I've specifically scripted something to read into camera, I only started doing that early last year. Really early, as in the first of those I did came out January 1st, 2024. And the reason I started doing those was specifically just to get some practice writing scripts that are meant to be spoken out loud and getting some practice in reading continuously off a script. Because I just didn't really have that skill at all a year ago. I wanted to get better at it, and that's why I started doing YouTube as a hobby. I thought, I'll write and film videos for a few weeks, get some practice in, then I'll have this new experience and a new understanding of how to do it. Get better at script writing, be more confident about showing my face on a public platform, learn how to use video editing software, all that sort of stuff. Fun little learning experience. And that's how it went. Started January 1st, and over the course of about 3 weeks made a handful of videos. And I thought I was done there. I was going to call it quits there, think of it as a good learning experience, and then most likely delete all the videos themselves not too long afterwards because they'd served their purpose. And of course, at the time I was an absolutely no-name channel, just another drop in the ocean of YouTubers with no following. If I put a video up, it would get maybe 30 to 50 views after a week. But that didn't matter, of course, because I was doing it just for me and I don't care about internet fame or anything like that. So, in mid to late January, I think, yep, fun little experiment, I'm done here, I'll take all these videos down any day now when I get around to it. Then, January 19th, I get on the computer and open YouTube because I think I've got a busy week ahead of me real soon, I should go ahead and delete all those videos now while I think of it. But instead, I find out that a mere 18 days after my first serious upload, that someone had responded to one of my videos. And I think to myself, I need to counter-respond to this, even if only like 5, 10 people tops ever see it. And surely, if you're familiar with me enough that you've stuck around this far into the video, you'll recall how that went. And a handful of drama reaction channels inexplicably ended up covering that, and long story short, now I've got something like over 6,000 subscribers, and I ultimately decided to keep making videos because I realized they could be fun. The biggest takeaway here is that drama gets you views, and it can be really easy content too. I've done something like over 250 videos now, and their average view count is over 1,000 apiece. It's a far cry from the average of 30 it once was. And the other day, I happened to notice that one of my most popular videos was one I did last May called The Mutahar Keffel's Video is a Nothing Burger. And the thing is, that video wasn't planned. I learnt of the Keffel scandal, got the idea to make that video, scripted it, filmed it, edited and uploaded it, all in a span of about 30 minutes total. And it did well, better than pretty much anything I put effort into on here. A drama gets views, being off the cuff gets views, being contentious gets views. If you've ever considered having a YouTube page of your own, just letting you know, I've had one now just casually for about a year, and it turns out it's plenty fun and really easy. But my New Year's resolution is to embody that Enlightenment spirit, as I see it, and aspire to more drama and more mudflinging and more causing problems on purpose. It's just a thought. Either way, if you've listened to me this far, take care and have a lovely day.